simulators. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 6 of our Let's Play here of Fishing North Atlantic. We're getting really close to being able to afford our next boat, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're actually here in Lockport right now, so if we go to the shipyard and we go to available, I think the boat that we're gonna buy here is the Ocean Runner, because the Ocean Runner will allow us to do long lines, and it will allow us to do net fishing, lobster fishing, and the deep line. So the deep line is going to be super useful because we're about to enter into like tuna territory and such. Plus this can have up to 88,000 max storage, and then we can get some additional crew members as well. So in order for us to afford that, which I think we'll be able to do this episode, but in order for us to afford that, we are going to need to go out and do probably like one more run of lobsters, and then from there we should in theory be good to go. Oh, one more thing before we leave, I want to make sure that we have enough bait. So yeah, let's buy. Oh, we were really low on bait, so I was glad I remembered that before we headed out. But I'm pretty sure what my plan is right now is for us to like basically I want to get that boat that I just showed off, and then we're gonna go long line fishing for a while, because tuna season doesn't start for like another 2 months or so, and so we got to kind of wait for that to be a thing. So speaking of, it's probably time for that comment shout out from the last episode. So I'm gonna go ahead and let editor Drake here come in and give that shout out, and we'll go from there. All right, today's comment shout out comes from Bag 606, who said, "Dane, I didn't know people still played this game. Have they updated it at all?" And in fact they have. The last update that they did though was back in October 9th of 2023, and I'll put a screenshot of it up here right now. All right, editor Drake, thank you so much for that comment shout out. Yeah, so basically the game is no longer being updated, but they did do an update back in like 2023, I believe was the last update. I'll put it up in the editor here so that you guys can see that as well. But let's go find some lobsters, and I'll bring you back as soon as I do. All right, I'm bringing you back because we found a few different lobsters. It doesn't seem like this is a very popular area for the lobsters to hang out. Like I think they closed all the nightclubs in this area, but we'll be able to hopefully get some lobsters out of this. I don't think it's going to be amazing, but who knows. I think we might end up having to do 2 trips, because I want to get crew members for the next ship or the next boat that we get, because the I want to start getting them trained and all that. So we're gonna have to figure that out, but I'll bring you back after I put down all of these pots. It looks like we're kind of like in a like gray area where there's not a lot. Maybe the lobsters are like, this is the area that I'm in right now, which I'm gonna go ahead and mark with some lobster. But I'm gonna like kind of go around in this general area and see where we could find the lobsters, because it doesn't look like there's any more to the south. I think they're probably heading north with this particular group. But anyway, I'll bring you back and we'll go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just finished putting down the pattern, and this is kind of like what we're doing here. So I went down south and then came back up north and came back around. There's not a heck of a lot of lobster on the sonar in this area, but I feel like there's going to be enough for us to get probably, I want to say 5,000 pounds is what my guess is. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that and see just what we get. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and pause that here real quick. Let's double check the time on that. Okay, about an hour. So we want 19 hours on the soak, which should, yep, bring us right about like almost 20 hours of soak time for these guys. So this first pot, usually I feel like the first pot kind of tells you how well you did, but sometimes like those middle pots that I've highlighted in the past tend to be like pretty good too. So I don't know, maybe I'm just maybe there's no real way to tell like how well you've done on the first you know, the first little go there or what have you, but we're gonna try anyway, see what we get. All right, come on, big money, big money, big money. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Anybody that knows that game, okay, that looks like a decent pot. Oh no, I don't know, we'll find out. Oh, let's close that. Let's, all right, let's see here. Nope, too small, too small. That's not promising. Oh, that's you could see the ball of his eye. Are all of these guys too small? Please give me some useful ones. That one's like borderline. Okay, that one's too small. There we go, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. That guy's a monster. I hope he makes up for all the ones we had to throw back there. It's always sad when you have like a lot of lobster in there and then they always end up and then they end up being small. Like that's not fun. But 577.3 pounds of fish on that pot, so that's pretty good. And I'll bring you guys back after I've collected all the pots, or if I find one that's over 1,000 pounds, I'll bring you back for that as well. You know, actually, this is the second pot right there, 982 pounds. Pretty significant. So I might be wrong. Like maybe this area is pretty good for lobsters to this time around. But oh man, that's pretty good. We need more of that. All right, let's go. Let's get more of that. Okay. Just kidding. Pot number 3 is 1,026.9 pounds. So I was all saying like, oh, this area is gonna suck and whatever, because I don't see a heck of a lot of lobsters down there on the sonar, but I guess there's a lot of them here. And so maybe I'll just keep you through this pot and we'll see like what this one is, and watch, this one's gonna be like 27 pounds or something like that. No, it's got some lobsters in there. We'll see here in just a moment. And okay, that guy's useful. That's good. We'll call him you don't, so like when I'm looking at this, right, it's kind of close, right? You can almost see like the eye sockets there, but if you don't see the roundness of the eyeball there, it's safe. So that's kind of how like I'm quickly judging there. So like and most of the time I get it right, so it seems okay. Like that guy, he's way too small. He can get out of here. He can get out of here. That one's really close. So like this is what I'm talking about, right? Like you can barely see the roundness of his eyeball. So like I'm not gonna risk it on that guy. because he might be just too small, and we don't want to risk that. So 849 pounds. Okay, I was way wrong on this stream of pots, and I'll bring you back on the next one. But this is the spot if you guys want to fish here yourself. So here's Denis Point, and then it's like right over here. So I'll bring you back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last pot. And this string of pots has been way more successful than I originally thought it was going to be. So here's hoping that this pot continues along that trend, and so far it doesn't look like it's going to be. But let's get some lobsters here, shall we? So I feel like it's probably gonna be, we'll see what our financials look like after this, but we might end up taking a loan out just to get into the other boat. So 657.4 pounds of fish on that one, for a grand total of 8,311 pounds of lobster. That's a really significant chunk of change for us, because 8,311 pounds of lobster is pretty freaking significant, and that brings us to $91,726. So I'm very excited about that. That's quite a bit of money. Brings us up to 779,000, which means I think that it's going to be time for us to buy our next boat. So let's go over here to Lockport, and we'll buy the boat, and we might take out a loan. I don't usually like taking loans out in games like this, but I think we might just go ahead and do that. But the problem is we're gonna need a name for this guy, right? He's almost $700,000. So boom, we just bought that boat. We don't need the tutorial, but we are gonna keep we're gonna keep it as long line. So we have $84,000 left after buying our boat. First things first, we're gonna need to go to maintenance and change the name. And I think Ocean Runner, that's nice and everything, but I think we're gonna call this something here in just a moment. Let me think of a name real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've settled on the name. We're gonna call this vessel the Seize the Day, and make it a little bit of a pun. Oh no, it didn't save. Hold on. Let's do that again. Seize the Day. So, but yeah, we'll call it Seize the Day, and we'll go from there. I think it's kind of a fun name. What happened to the font that I had? There we go. Okay. Rename. Boom. Change the color of the boat. Nah, we don't need to do that. Okay, let's see. Upgrades. Eventually I'm gonna want those different things, but we're not there yet. All right, let's see. Add to basket. That's 20 grand for the radar. We want fish sonar. Another 15 grand for that. Brings us 35. We want the buoy. We want... Ooh. I think we'll just keep the gutting table for now, because that's 15 grand. That's a lot of money. And we have a lot of upgrades that we're gonna need to do. So we'll keep the regular gutting for now. We'll go ahead and check out with that. That leaves us with 35 grand. And then we want to get some crew members. So we got Rudy Smith, who is a rating of 61, 101 there. Ooh, higher cost, $40,000 for these guys. So this is, we can probably stay within our budget because we got 35 grand left, right? So let me find some crew members here real quick. All right, so I feel like we're gonna go ahead and hire Sadie here, Sadie Lewis, because Sadie Lewis, she's got a 10 score on cooking. She's got 6 on pot hauling, and then hand gutting is a 6, machine gutting is 7. She's like she's pretty average for a starting crew member, so I think that would be perfect. So we'll go ahead and hire her. That leaves us with 100 grand. I took $100,000 loan out because we're gonna need fishing gear. So we're gonna take 10 long lines, and we're gonna bait the long lines with krill because we want redfish primarily. So $37,000 in bait. Oh my gosh. This is so expensive. But yeah, okay, so let's see here. Let's go to the bar and no, we don't want the missions. We want redfish from 3 days ago. Could be pretty good. But yeah, okay, so there we go. We got seize the day, and we are finally at a point where we now have our very own brand new fishing boat, and I am excited for this. Okay, so let's turn our lights on, and then I gotta remember the crew member. Okay, there we go. We got the crew. So I want Sadie to go ahead and she can start cooking right now. Oh, you know what? Let me get out to sea, and then we'll do a little tour of our new boat. So yeah, I'll get out to sea and I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am slightly out to sea. Here's Sadie cooking away. But this is our new boat. Looks like we have you know, here's our console and everything. We got a Canadian book right here. What is this? Happy Canada Day, 1st of July 1867. Okay. And then we got our logbook right there. We got a little like cabinetry area right here, a nice little couch with a table. And then when we open the door, we come outside and we got, you know, our 10 long lines back here. Big storage area. I think this is like for the engine room down there. Not a lot to look at, but I think like crew quarters and stuff are down that way, part of the engine room as well. And we'll just close that up. But yeah, that's our new boat. And let's go find some redfish. I want to go discover this location here real quick, and then my plan is to probably head down here into the deep water and kind of like see, because we've been getting a lot of reports of redfish down in that area. And I want to aim for redfish because they sell for more. And yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll use this boat probably in the next season, because right now the fish season, so redfish and pollock are always in season, right? But we're here in April, so we got to make it through May and then into June before we can start doing any of the bluefin tuna. And I feel like with the long line fishing with the seize the day ship here, we should be able to get quite a bit of money off of this. You know, of course we're in a little bit of debt right now, but I feel like now that we are doing long line fishing, we should be able to you know, get out of that here real soon. Anyway, I'll bring you back after I find the redfish. We're gonna head down over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing you back because the depth of the ocean here is 1.3 nautical miles deep, which is pretty significant. But we're also finding a bit of redfish. I hear seagulls in the area, but it's so dark I can't see them, so I'm not sure where the significant fish are. So I'm trying to listen to where the seagulls are because I can't see them. I physically can't see them. But anyway, I'll bring you back as we start laying out the lines. Oh, actually, look at all that. Look at all them fishies. We'll go ahead and start laying the lines here. Yeah, so we're gonna be laying out 5,000 line, 5,000 hook lines, and we're primarily targeting these redfish because redfish sell for pretty good. But we also, as you can see here in the bottom left hand corner, I'll put a zoom in right here. We have to lay this line out for 500 meters, which is, fairly significant. But these are not the largest hooks. I think like the largest one is the 10,000 hook one, or at least that's the largest one that I ever laid out, and you got to do that for a full ass kilometer. Anyway, I'll bring you back after we've laid out these lines. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the pattern that I laid out, and so we're gonna go see what we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and personally try to do the hooks and pull in the line personally myself here with the first with the first buoy, and then from there I'll probably let my worker do the rest. Here, I'm not gonna show like the entire process here, but I figure like I'll at least show this first stream here. But my gosh, we found a ton of redfish in this area, so hopefully we'll be able to use that for that. And let me go ahead and get a screenshot here while I'm thinking about it. But the so yeah, we'll pull in these lines and see kind of like how much fish we get, and it should primarily be redfish because that's all I see on the sonar. And that's honestly pretty exciting because we want a lot of redfish, as they sell a lot better than the pollock does. But at this point I'll kind of take whatever because we're $100,000 in debt right now. So we definitely need like whatever money we can get. But we will certainly be upgrading the engines on Seize the Day because she's a little bit of a slow gal. And one other thing is like, instead of being on the port side, now our collection point here is on the starboard side. Okay, so here we go. Oh dang it, that's a miss. Okay, I haven't actually done this. There we go, perfect. All right, I haven't actually done this before, so all right, just okay, but that's fine. Bam, perfect. Let's get it. Let's get all of these fish. That's a good one. I haven't done this before. I usually have let my crew do this in the past, so don't expect like really good results. I say that as I get multiple perfects in a row. I say that as I get multiple perfects in a row, and then I get a good, but good is good. So there's your wisdom of the day. Good is good. Okay, we got 21,000 pounds of fish on that one line. Are you kidding me? Okay. So then, oh yeah, we got, holy crap, dude. 21,622. I laid out 6 lines. We're gonna be full before I can even, like, really do it. Okay. So let's get some of these fish here. Ugh. Okay, that was a bad gut. I'll get better this time. Let's see here. But yeah, that is, we're gonna be full in like 2 lines. Dang, 3 stars again? I thought that was a lot better than before. 3 stars again. Do we do it from the front then? Let's try that. Oh, that one's not gonna be good. Okay, so apparently I'm not good at this either. But yeah, what am I doing wrong? Okay, we'll start there and then we'll go slowly along the line here and try. Ooh, okay, that was bad. Why is that one so bad? Let's do it quickly. I can't seem to get a fight. Oh, you know what? It could be the knife. Maybe the knife isn't letting us. Because I don't have like an upgraded knife. So maybe 3 stars is the best that we can do with this knife. But I don't know. I'm getting fairly consistent 3 stars on this, and so I haven't gotten anything better than 3 stars. So I think that's what it is maybe this knife, because we don't have an upgraded knife. We just have the default knife, and so maybe 3 stars. Ooh, this one's gonna be bad. I kind of had like a dip there with the wave, but yeah, maybe 3 stars is the best we can do with this knife. Because I seem to be like pretty decent with it, but it's not being my friend. But I'll bring you back. We don't need to see like every single fish that I got. All right, so I put Sadie here on hand gutting, and she's working away at those fish as we come up on line number 2 here. Now, I did not plan on getting 21,000 pounds of fish off of 1 line, so we're gonna have a bunch of wasted lines here, and what I'm gonna try to do is I'll see if I can't, pick this line up and be quick about it, because this is probably gonna fill our cargo hold right away, and then we'll sail back into town and see if I can't go from there. See if I can't get the come back in time to be able to get the whatchamacallits, the rest of our lines before all the fish die on the hooks there. So I'll give that a shot and we'll see what we can do. That was 6,000 pounds. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of wasted fish, but that's okay. I don't have the habitat like extinction feature turned on right now, so anyway, I'll bring you back as soon as I can. All right, I'm bringing you back because there's 14 redfish on this line right here. I feel bad wasting all of this fish because there's no way that we have room for all of this. Even this line is gonna fill this boat up, but that's also going to be like a pretty good thing because we need the money, and like this is going to be the first time that we've ever had like a full boat of fish, and even with me messing up the hooking of these fish, it doesn't really matter because we're way over the amount that we can have. So But I'm pretty excited for that because this should be a fairly significant payday. I have no idea how much it's actually going to end up being, but it should be quite a bit. So we'll find out here in just a few minutes, and I'll bring you back once I get back into port. But yeah, so holy crap, dude, 36,000 pounds of fish were lost in that, and we got 2 more hooks out there, but I think by the time we get back, it's gonna be it's gonna be too much. I needed fish prices, which is over here. Okay, so in Yarmouth, we've got $2.08 for a red fish. Lunenburg 187, Lockport 219. I think that's, yeah, 219 at Lockport so far is the best. Then Ingleshall Head, and then Digby and Dennis Point. So yeah, we need to sell in Lockport, it looks like. Which map? Let's look. Where is Lockport? Oh, Lockport's right where we came from. Okay, so 14 hours is quite a bit of time for us to head back into port. Hold on, let's go to no. And I think I need to gut some fish because Sadie got oh my gosh, yeah, 21,000. Okay, I'll bring you right back after I gutted the fish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out how much this is all worth. $112,685, which is pretty freaking good. And then Sadie takes 1.6%, which is $1,832. And I'm not sure if like this is our grand total. Yeah, it is. So this is the grand total after the fact, because we had 113,000 up here, and then her cut was 1,832. So there we go. We're in a whole new world for all of this. So let me go ahead and get some upgrades. So we definitely want the storage upgrade here in a bit, but I want the gutting machine, so we'll add that to the basket and we'll get that because that's going to save us a lot of time and money. And then I want the I want something else here real quick. I want the, I guess, the storage, but there was something I was looking for with that fishing gear. Anyway, give me a second. I'll find this here in a moment. Okay, I found the knife. Oh, okay, there we go. 8% bigger fish with a better hook. And then we can find the knife. $25,000 for that knife. Okay. Well, we definitely want a better knife, so we will get that. And then I want a better hook. I don't think we need the mahogany hook just yet, but we'll get the steel hook. 4% bigger fish. I don't know, maybe that's a waste of money. We'll just get the bigger one. We'll just get the biggest one. Okay, so we have $62,000 left, and I think what we'll do is we definitely need fuel, and we'll do a little bit of repair, and then we might need to hold on to the rest of that money instead of getting the storage, because it doesn't make sense for me to spend $25,000 to get storage number 2, because with $50,000 more we can get 44,000 more pounds, which, like, the difference is it doesn't, so to me it doesn't make sense to spend $25,000 to gain 11,000 pounds, because then later when we have to buy storage number 4, we'll have to spend an additional $75,000 to get that, and so that would be a total cost of $100,000, and I'm not willing to do that. Anyway, this episode has been extremely long, so thank you so much for making it to the end of that video, and I'll see you in the next one. thank you for making it to the end of that video. I really appreciate you watching it to the whole thing. You're an awesome possum. Don't forget to go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as that goes an extremely long way in helping this small channel grow. I appreciate you watching that video, and I'll see you in the next one.